This is Top 30. Coming up, the hottest selling cars of 2018, reactions to Kevin Hart's Ellen interview, and an egg roll eating squirrel that's captivating the internet. Hi there, welcome to the show. I'm Kristin Smith, and here are 30 things you need to know right now. You should be all done with your holiday shopping and ready to relax. But just because it's January doesn't mean there aren't some great deals to be had. According to Consumer Reports, there are quite a few items on major discount this month. The first, fitness products, including treadmills, ellipticals, and bathroom scales. Retailers know your resolutions and are ready to help by cutting the price on some of their big-ticket items. Another product to help make a healthier you in 2019, food processors. You can grab one for just over $10. Next, televisions. If you missed the Black Friday deals, no worries. The weeks leading up to the Super Bowl are also known for major sales on TVs. And as the temperatures go down, we turn our thermostats up. One thing you may be looking for is a humidifier to keep your skin from chapping and your nose from bleeding this time of year. So it's a good thing they're on deep discount. So if all that Christmas cash is burning a hole in your pocket, you now know where to get the best bang for your buck. Now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Lauren Simonetti. Lauren, 2018 was a good year for car makers.
That's right, Kristin. Defying expectations, U.S. car sales are holding steady. 17.3 million vehicles were sold in 2018, marking the fourth straight year surpassing the 17 million mark. Some of the best sellers last year, the Jeep Compass, 171,000 of them were sold. That's up 106% from 2017. The Subaru Crosstrek, 144,000 sold. That was a 31% jump. And the Honda Pilot, sales of those up 25% with 160,000 deliveries. Well, Amazon is entering into a government contract. The FBI is testing the company's controversial facial recognition technology as a new way to catch criminals. This technology is expected to help speed up the FBI's process of going through video surveillance footage during their investigations. The software has been widely criticized by human rights groups. And starting next week, passengers flying United Airlines will only be allowed to bring dogs and cats on board as emotional support animals, so no horses. The airline also banning all support animals from flights that are longer than 8 hours.
So why is United changing its rules?
The airline says it has seen an increase in the number of onboard incidents with emotional support animals.
All right, interesting story. Thanks, Lauren. Kevin Hart says he's now rethinking his decision to step down as host of the 2019 Oscars following an appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Just one day after being named host of the Academy Awards, Kevin pulled out after he refused to apologize again for homophobic tweets he'd written years ago that resurfaced.
I don't want to step on that stage and make that night about me and my past when you got people that have worked hard to step on that stage for the first time and receive an award.
Ellen is friends with Kevin and told them she called the Academy to discuss rehiring him, and they're up for it. So she thinks he should still host the Oscars.
Somebody has to take a stand against the quote-unquote trolls. You have to.
Right, but they're going to win if you don't host the Oscars.
Ellen is receiving some backlash for supporting Kevin, and members of the LGBTQ community in particular are upset she called them haters. One fan said she's giving homophobes the ability to say, but Ellen said it's okay. Another said Ellen DeGeneres saying don't let those people win is ugly. One activist said, that interview made me miss the previous talk show host that asked tough questions. And everything really is bigger in Texas. Jennifer and Eric Medlock welcomed a baby boy who tipped the scales at nearly 15 pounds. He's the biggest baby ever delivered at Arlington Memorial Hospital, weighing 14 pounds, 13 ounces. All the women out there will be happy to learn he was born via C-section. Okay, time now for the New York Minute with Rosanna Scotto from Fox 5 New York. A new year means new laws for New York.
We can't keep up with all these new laws. I mean, we just had New Year's Eve a few days ago. We're still getting over the hangover. But we want everybody to know what's happening here just in case they come here. So there is a new statewide minimum wage increase and the ability to change to a non-binary gender option on birth certificates. Those are just two of the laws that went into effect at the start of 2019. Also, say goodbye to those single-use styrofoam containers. You know, usually you get them at the halal on the corner. A lot of those places are now not allowed to use that product. They have a 6-month grace period to make the change to something else, but styrofoam is out. Also gone, cigarettes and tobacco products can no longer be sold in pharmacies, and that ban includes supermarkets and big box stores with pharmacies, so another good excuse to quit. And also, which I love, all new and renovated buildings in New York will require public restrooms to have baby changing tables in both the men's and the women's rooms. So the guys cannot get out of changing the babies anymore. They have their own changing tables.
So true. Okay, moving on. Rosanna, I think we may have found our first viral star of 2019.
You know, remember the pizza rat? Now there is a new person on the block, a new animal on the block, the egg roll eating squirrel. It's captured everybody on the internet. At first, when I saw this, I said, is this somebody setting this up for Instagram? I'm not so sure. On Wednesday, this user called What is New York tweeted what appears to be a squirrel in a tree eating an egg roll. The video was captioned, "Doesn't look like this squirrel's first egg roll." Many on Twitter say the squirrel is living his best life. And while we don't really know how it got its hands on an egg roll, some are more concerned that the squirrel forgot the sauce. That's what would have gotten me. If it would have been really authentic if the squirrel was dipping in the duck sauce. Because we all know that's what really makes the egg roll.
All right, always fun talking to you. Thanks, Rosanna. Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando has what you need to know today. So, Danielle, I hear you might want to skip the salt and pepper next time you eat out.
Well, Kristin, I like my food spicy, but the next time you're reaching for the pepper on a restaurant table, you may want to use a napkin, because it turns out that the pepper shakers are often one of the dirtiest items in a restaurant, harboring one of the highest bacteria counts. A new study shows pepper shakers have an average bacteria count of 11,600. And let's go ahead and add to that gross factor here, shall we, by telling you menus carry the most bacteria, with an average bacteria count of 185,000. That's enough to make you lose your appetite. Well, puzzles and brain training exercises won't stop mental decline, at least according to a study posted in the British Medical Journal. People who regularly do those intellectual activities like crossword puzzles or Sudoku may have stronger mental abilities, but research shows they don't prevent the loss of cognitive abilities. And the type of beer you drink may be saying more about you than you think. So here's the thing. If lager is your choice, you're an easygoing drinker who prefers something less hoppy, and you're more sociable. Ale drinkers, well, they lean more towards curling up on the couch and watching a little Netflix. Oh, and researchers also found that lager drinkers have a higher stress level than ale drinkers. And if craft beer is more your style, 1 in 3 beer drinkers are intimidated by you. That's the research, and that's what you need to know. And I don't know about you, Kristin, I don't drink, but I wonder what it means if you like a tall glass of organic grape juice, stirred, not shaken. Back to you.
I don't know, but that sounds great. Make that too. Thanks, Danielle. Well, if one of your resolutions is to cut down on all the time you spend on Facebook, listen up. Whether it's because it's taking too much of your time or even your views on the company, we know that breaking up can be hard to do. But an article by the Associated Press talks about the best way to break up with Facebook. First, before deleting your account, save all your memories. Facebook allows you to download the data from your account, including posts, photos, activity log, messages, likes, comments, searches, and a history of everything else you've ever done on Facebook, which can be kind of crazy to think about. However, you won't get photos other people shared with you, so save those manually. If you're not sure you're ready for a full separation, try deactivating. Facebook allows your account to be inactive while you take time to think about it. When you log back in, everything will return. If it's the fear of missing out that's holding you back, consider other apps and programs that do the same thing. Eventbrite helps you keep up with upcoming local events. The app Let Go allows you to buy and sell items in your area. GoFundMe allows you to raise money for just about any cause. And even your local news station may have an app to help you keep up with the latest headlines. So breaking up could be easier than you think. And still ahead on Top 30, things you didn't know your microwave could do, and the biggest movies of 2018. Don't go anywhere. Top 30 will be right back after this promotional consideration provided by TurboTax. Welcome back. What do a Grinch, a T-Rex, and Earth's mightiest heroes have in common? Well, when the credits rolled on 2018, they helped the domestic box office earn a record $11.85 billion. That's 4% higher than the previous high in 2016. Records were also broken globally, with moviegoers shelling out a total of $41.7 billion on international hits, including Venom, Operation Red Sea, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Back home, though, more than a quarter of earnings belonged to Disney, which claimed a studio record $3.09 billion from just 14 films. 3 of those were the biggest of the year, with Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, and Incredibles 2 leading the pack with over $600 million each. Bolstered by hits Halloween and Jurassic World, Universal took second in the studio race, edging out Warner Brothers, whose hits included A Star is Born and Aquaman. Despite the good news, industry analysts have a warning, with titles like Avengers: Endgame, Toy Story 4, and Star Wars Episode 9 coming in 2019. Last year's records may be short-lived. Now let's go to Carrie Lake from Fox 10 Phoenix. She brings you this week's life hacks. So Carrie, my friend, what do you have for us?
Hi, Kristin. In today's life hack, I love these silica packages. They come in all kinds of things, but I save them because they help keep things dry and keep things from molding, especially old photos. We all have boxes full of them. If for each box of old photos you throw in one of these silica packages, you won't have them sticking together, and it'll keep them from bending as well. Next up, do you want to come through the door at the end of the day with a hot pizza, not a warm one, but you have a long drive? Well, don't worry. Just take that pizza when you pick it up and put it on the seat next to you. Turn the seat warmer on, and you'll have a hot pizza when you walk through the door. And finally, you get a piece of toast stuck in the toaster, and you obviously don't want to use one of these to get it out. Use a plastic fork instead. You can reach it right in there, and you don't have to worry about getting shocked. Back to you, Kristin.
All right, great tips. As always, Carrie, thank you. Listen to this. Almost every train line in America has missed a deadline to start using new safety measures. According to the Department of Transportation, just 4 out of the country's 41 rail systems had installed positive train control by January 1st. It's a system that uses satellites and radio signals to relay information about a train's speed and location. It can also apply the brakes to prevent crashes. The National Transportation Safety Board says that since 1969, positive train control would have prevented about 150 train accidents. Those crashes caused around 300 deaths. In 2008, Congress ordered the system to be installed on all passenger trains. That year, a Los Angeles commuter train collided head-on with a freight train. 25 people were killed. Rail lines had till 2015 to install the technology. It was later extended to 2018. But most rail lines have asked the Federal Railroad Administration for extensions until 2020. Rail companies say they need more time because the system is complicated and could cost up to $10 billion to install. Okay, time now for Gary's Life Fix, brought to you by Sandals Resorts. Nature versus nurture, fight versus flight. Many have worked to explain human behavior and action. Here to give us his take, we're joined by business and life strategist Gary Cox. So Gary, here's the question for you. Why do people behave the way they do?
We behave the way we do because we are the sum total, Kristin, of everything that we've ever experienced from the day that we were born to this very moment. So often through this time frame from, birth to now, we have what I refer to as EICs. EIC is an emotionally impacted circumstance that in turn creates an EID, an emotionally impacted decision. And because of our programming, the things that we've experienced, whether it's our religion, culture, movies, books, all these things have actually conditioned and programmed us. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
Human behavior is so fascinating. So let me ask you this. How can we play with that programming to turn things we have to do into things we want to do?
Well, that's a generalized question, but in its simplicity, there's 2 things that cause us to have the desire and motivation to succeed at anything. Number 1, it's a belief, but you can have a lot of belief and never take action because you don't have value, which is a level of importance you place on something. So if you know there's something that you need to do and you're not doing it, you either have too low of a belief or you have too low of a value. You get those 2 things high and you'll take massive action and do what you typically don't want or don't like to do. Also, is the purpose behind what you want to accomplish is incredibly important to your success. It's like seeing 2 people dig a hole. both of them are doing it, but one has more motivation than the other. The one that has more motivation is the one that's digging for the gold. They're both doing the same thing, but one's a lot more proactive at it.
That totally explains why I have a hard time getting to the gym. Gary, great advice as always. Thank you. Well, this new year looks like it'll bring quite a few new celebrity babies. A number of stars announced they were expecting to expand their families in 2019. Among those, of course, is the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. Kensington Palace announced in October that the royal couple is expecting their first child this spring. Actress Amy Schumer also announced her pregnancy back in 2018, who also jokingly photoshopped her and her husband's head onto the royal couple's bodies. Next, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. The couple is expecting to expand their family by one via surrogate. Another star taking the same path to pregnancy, Andy Cohen, expecting his first, a baby boy, in just a few weeks' time. Also expecting a boy, singer Carrie Underwood, who will now have 2 sons. But the spotlight won't be too shy of baby girls, as singer Jessica Simpson, singer Kehlani, and Kobe and Vanessa Bryant are all expecting baby girls in 2019. Wow, can't wait to see all these bundles of joy this year. And we have more Top 30 coming right up. Welcome back to Top 30. Just days after going back to work, many Americans are already planning their next vacation. The travel website Kayak analyzed 1.5 billion searches to break down the top travel spots people are looking to visit in 2019. 2 spots in Mexico made the top 10. Guadalajara earned points for its art scene and architecture. Mexico City saw a 73% increase in searches, more than any other spot. It has more than 40,000 restaurants. It also won Design Capital of the world last year. Bali is now the only destination to make Kayak's top trending vacations for 3 years in a row. It's known as the Isle of the Gods for its beaches. The Bahamas also made the list for their sand and surf. The islands get over 300 days of sunshine every year. The top 10 also includes favorites like Paris and Rome. And if you feel like getting away but need a good deal, don't worry, the site also broke down the best times to buy your ticket. You know, a popular way to ring in the new year is with a good old-fashioned resolution. And Elizabeth Stanton from Popstar Magazine is here with one you'll find pretty easy to keep. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Kristin. Yeah, if your New Year's resolution is to listen to more good music, you are in luck. It may be cold in January, but that doesn't stop our favorite musicians from heating up the stage. After a brief break to rest his vocal cords, Justin Timberlake will resume his popular Man of the Woods tour in January with performances across the country. Panic at the Disco continues its Pray for the Wicked tour with the North American leg kicking off this month. And Kelly Clarkson's Meaning of Life tour has tickets on sale too. Cher is taking her Here We Go Again tour across country for multiple shows, and the legendary band Fleetwood Mac continues the North American leg of its tour through April. For more details on concert tours to celebrate the arrival of 2019, get the current copy of Popstar Magazine on stands now. Back to you, Kristin.
Sounds great. Thanks, Liz. Well, world, Google may be bringing us more technology in 2019. The Federal Communications Commission just approved Google's Project Soli. But this project is totally different than any of the others. According to Google, Soli is a sensing technology that uses miniature radar to detect touchless gesture interactions. The technology actually allows an app to translate movement into a command, specifically movement of the human hand. Google is working to allow users to control various devices with very slight movements. Imagine an invisible button between your thumb and index finger, or the turning of a dial, or the pulling of a slider. Although the movements are virtual, users feel that it is physical and responsive. The chip can fit into anything from watches to phones to computers to televisions. Google didn't give an actual release date on the technology, but did say this project has been in the works for a few years now. So you never know. This time next year, you could be turning up the volume to your speakers without even touching them. Welcome back. Everybody knows the most basic uses of a microwave, but there might be a lot more you didn't know your microwave can do. More than just heating things up, your microwave can help you with some other tedious cooking tasks. Peeling garlic is always a nuisance when cooking, so let your microwave help you out. Pop the full head of garlic in the microwave for 20 seconds and voila, now those garlic husks will come right off. And if you're crying over onions, your microwave is here to dry your tears. Cut off the tips of the onion and then stick it in your microwave. 30 seconds later, you'll be able to cut your onion tear-free. But cooking is not the only thing your microwave can be used for. It can also peel stamps off letters. Whether you're a stamp collector or you accidentally make a mistake, your microwave can help. Put a few drops of water onto the stamp and heat it up for approximately 20 seconds. When it comes out, you can peel the stamp off with no damage. What a multitasking machine. And that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching. Here's what's coming up on the next Top 30. We'll have all the best moments and the best outfits from this year's Golden Globes. Plus, realtors and designers say these upgrades will help your home sell for top dollar. And you might be more productive once you know what kind of sleeper you are. You can also listen to today's biggest stories on the Top 30 podcast. It's all coming up on the next Top 30.